While everyone else was stacking amps, tuners and CD players like Lego, Bose went minimalist, a receiver, CD player and radio all in one sleek brushed aluminium unit. The price tag was $2,400 which wasn't cheap, but it was packed with innovation. And Bose also included another innovation called Zones, or multi-room audio. So you could play a CD in one room and listen to a radio in another. This was achieved by 2 powered loudspeakers. The main unit is nice and sleek, featuring brushed aluminium, a very uniform design. It features a hinge lid which can be opened by pushing here. It rises nicely and smoothly on springs. The internal part of the structure is made from plastic and is also where the CD tray lives, and you can put a CD in there. And then you have an auto off button which allows you to have a timer to turn it off, video, aux and tape modes, and your tuning buttons for the radio. So you've got zone, tuner, CD, volume up and down and an off button. It features a vacuum fluorescent display which has a nice soft green glow to it. The side is very minimalist with just this nice ribbed plastic here. Around the back you have your outputs for zone 1 and zone 2, so that means you could have speakers in, say, your living room and then maybe your dining room. You've got your tape outputs, your tape inputs, and then your video inputs and your auxiliary inputs, and the serial data output is what controls the subwoofer. There's also an FM antenna and an AM antenna and a power switch. Around the other side, the minimalism continues, but here we have a headphone output and a tape jack. The front of the system shows the minimalism that Bose was going for, with just a single black line intersecting the brushed aluminium, and on that black line all there is a green power indicator light here and the button for opening the system up. Here are the speakers, and you can see that they're rather small when compared to the size of my hand. And this is either the left channel or the right channel, and it features 2 left or right channel drivers. There is no tweeter here and a mid-range here, they're exactly the same. Now, Bose did this because they wanted these speakers to swivel, and indeed they do. Why do they swivel? Well, it's also direct reflect technology that Bose pioneered, so that sound would bounce off the wall and then arrive at you from a different angle, giving a wider sound stage. The remote control is also something a little bit special. It's a giant slab of plastic, but a nice looking giant slab of plastic, and as you can see, it's slightly angled upwards with a gentle rise. One thing that perhaps isn't so fantastic is the layout of the buttons. They're all exactly the same size. You have no idea what you're touching or controlling without looking at the remote control. So this uses radio frequencies rather than infrared, so you could use it through walls. The subwoofer continues the theme of minimalism by having absolutely nothing on the front. There's also nothing on the left side or the right side. It's only when you get to the top of the subwoofer that you can see things actually going on with the controls for bass and treble and the outputs for the subwoofer here and here. Around the back you have a giant heatsink and a large logo, Bose Acoustimass powered speaker system, and you have the speaker outputs for left and right channel and the audio input from the Bose Lifestyle and a power switch. Well, that sound signifies that the Bose Lifestyle is no longer working. After 35 years, it's given up. I should really have known better, as I've owned 2 before that have done exactly the same thing. Really, you'd think I'd have learnt my lesson, but I really wanted to show you, the viewer, one of these old Bose Lifestyle systems. So, how did it sound before it decided it didn't want to work anymore? Well, I remember fondly from my childhood that the Bose Lifestyle system we had at home sounded rich and clear and had nice, decent bass. and it produced a very Bose 1990s sound. And that's a polite way of saying a sound that lacks a bit of mid-range, which of course isn't surprising as it's all highs with the small cube speakers and all lows with a big bassy subwoofer and no mid-range. You get the sense that the engineers at Bose tried to compensate for this by using technology. As for how this one sounds, it's hard to say for sure because it stopped working before I was able to fully test it and get it set up properly, but I suspect it wasn't working at 100%. But that won't stop us testing the music center with a direct hookup and testing all its functions.
Thank you for purchasing a Bose home theater system. This disc will help you check that the speakers are connected properly. You should now hear my voice coming from the left front speaker. You should now hear my voice coming from the right front speaker.
Just text app to 817. To track that down is called
townhouses from 5 12. Take that.
Yep, no, I can't go past
The Bose Lifestyle plays CDs, it has decent AM reception, it has decent FM reception, and sounds like you'd expect. So should you buy a Bose Lifestyle system? Well, if it's an early version like this, and it has the early subwoofer, I'd say that's best avoided because of the high failure rate of those subwoofers. But there are many different iterations over the years of a Bose Lifestyle with different subwoofers and slightly different music centers. And if you can find one of those for a good price, I'd say go for it because those later subwoofers are far more reliable, apart from a slight, fire recall. And it's also worth noting that Bose Lifestyle systems are a little bit like Lego. All the parts are somewhat interchangeable within reason, so you don't have to use the specific subwoofer for this model. You could use a newer subwoofer and it would still work just fine. This is the Bose Lifestyle Model 5, which is the successor to the original Lifestyle Music Center, and at first glance they look very similar, but there's a few key differences. The first is that this is brushed aluminium and this is plastic. And the newer one with plastic looks in far worse condition than the older one with aluminium. When you open them up, it's obvious to see how cheap they really are. This system here flies open and the entire thing moves, whereas this one over here rises nice, smoothly and slowly. And the newer one is smaller than the older one, so that's at least some kind of progress. This video has been bittersweet for me because I wanted to show you, the viewer, a working example of the Bose Lifestyle system I fondly remember from my childhood, but alas, that wasn't to be because they're at the end of their life now. I also wanted to ask, could you get a decent hi-fi system for under $100, which was the price of that Panasonic mini system I tested a few videos back? And of course the answer to that is no, you can't. Well, certainly not this, because of course it stopped working. And if you enjoyed this video of me not really demonstrating a Bose Lifestyle system, then you should subscribe to the channel down below, as it helps my channel grow, which is really important because it allows me to make better content and collect more ad revenue for YouTube, which helps pay for stupid mistakes like this Bose Lifestyle.